How can Texas House Speaker Dade Phelan continue to cling to power? Find out. This is Thursday, November 7th, 2024.
Texas Scorecard presents the day's first news for the Lone Star State. The Texas Minute, with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.
Thanks for spending part of your Thursday with the Texas Minute. Even though school choice wasn't explicitly on the ballot, opponents made Tuesday night's election a referendum on the issue. They're probably regretting that decision today. More on that coming up. In Tuesday's election, Dallas voters approved 2 of the 3 citizen-led hero amendments to their city charter despite heavy opposition from local officials. Proposition S will allow citizens to sue the city of Dallas if elected officials fail to comply with state law, city code, or the city charter. Meanwhile, Proposition U will boost police staffing and raise their salaries. Hispanic Americans cast their votes in historic numbers for Republican President-elect Donald Trump, flipping historically Democrat counties in Texas to the GOP column in the process. According to one national exit poll, 54% of Hispanic and Latino men went for Trump. Of Texas's 14 border counties, a dozen went for Trump. In Maverick County, where Hispanics make up 95% of the population, 59% of the vote went to Donald Trump, while 40% went to Kamala Harris. If you're trying to understand why, a survey from Pew Research shows that the economy and illegal immigration were top issues for Hispanic voters. Texas down-ballot races were good for Republicans generally, and the issue of school choice specifically. Anti-school choice advocates had insisted that after being obliterated in the GOP primary, that races won by supportive candidates would be undone by Democrats in the fall. The general election was then fashioned into a referendum on school choice by school choice opponents. But it didn't go as they planned. It ended up being a rout for the school choice opposition. One of the oldest anti-school choice groups in the state endorsed candidates in 13 open seat and challenge races. They lost all but 3 of those elections, and 2 of those 3 so-called wins were Democrats backfilling Democrat open seats. On Tuesday night, Governor Greg Abbott boasted that every candidate he backed in the Texas House won their general election and that the House now has the votes to pass school choice. Based on the primary results, that should be the case, but he and Texans face an impediment on the issue. That would be Speaker of the Texas House, Dade Phelan. Mr. Phelan already has a history of taking the issue of school choice hostage and has a track record of sandbagging conservative issues to curry favor with the Democrats. By appealing to Democrats to keep his seat, Mr. Phelan is setting up a similar play for the new year. After a quick break, the Texas Minute will look at Mr. Phelan's path to holding the Speaker's gavel in 2025.
Are you worried about your kid's future? You should be. I'm Charles Blaine with Texas Tomorrow. This is a show where we're going to talk about the issues and the people that are pushing the policies that concern your family, your home, and your kids. Catch Texas Tomorrow every Thursday.
With the general election in the rearview mirror, the next election on lawmakers' minds is for the speakership of the Texas House. The official vote for the Speaker of the House will occur on the first day of the legislative session. That's January 14th. Yet the decision may be made long before that as part of the Republican caucus's nominating process. Incumbent House Speaker Dade Phelan is being challenged by a group of Republican lawmakers seeking to reform the legislative chamber and reduce the influence of Democrats in the leadership. Republican State Representative David Cook of Mansfield emerged in September as the reform group's consensus candidate to challenge Phelan. That GOP caucus nomination vote will take place on December 7th. With 2 formerly Democrat seats having flipped to the GOP, the caucus will have 88 members at that meeting. To clinch the caucus's nomination, several rounds of secret ballot voting can take place. The winner must receive 2/3 support during the first 2 rounds of voting. If that doesn't occur, the threshold then drops to 3/5. So let's say Cook can clinch the Republican caucus nomination. Speaker Phelan's path to hold power will be uphill, but he still has one. He would need the votes of all the Democrats, and he would have to get at least 15 Republicans to defy the caucus and vote for him. You can find the details of all the stories mentioned today and keep up with the latest news by visiting TexasScorecard.com. This edition of the Texas Minute was based on the original writing of Addie Hovland, Valerie Munoz, Daniel Greer, and Brandon Waltons. The Texas Minute is produced by Nick Shepard in the 1836 studios. I look forward to seeing you out around the Lone Star State. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the first news of the day for the Lone Star State. This has been the Texas Minute with your host, Michael Quinn Sullivan.